And same thing with the wisdom. There's so much you can learn about the types of foods to eat per each point of your cycle. It's like these things I'm just now learning after being on birth control for 8 years. Something I wished I'd never been on because it really, like, the detox coming off of it was insane. Like, I don't think I'd found Zen cleanse yet, but I was like, I felt absolutely insane. I was not okay. And the research on coming off of the pill, there's like no research. There's only people who are like coaches being like, "Hey, I went through this," versus like any scientific material. Like, I had nothing to grasp onto other than, okay, we're just gonna go for this ride. I don't know what this is, but I'm just gonna experience it. So it's
Yeah, intense journey. I was on it for 10 years and I tried to come off at 5 different times and it was just so hard. I went back on it, but eventually I just did it and it was tough. So I feel you.
yeah. Then when you do get off of it, you're like, okay, I'm gonna have this awareness that maybe I've never had before on what this was actually doing to my system and why it was acting this way. So
Yeah, it changed my
it's
whole life. I was attracted to different men, different experiences. I didn't want to work in my job anymore. My whole personality was different being on the pill. So coming off it was a huge transition and change and like, oh, this is who I am without taking this substance. So
yeah, hormones are super, super important, and keeping those things flowing and working properly is critical, especially as you begin to age and you have those fluctuations in the female hormones that you don't want a ton of estrogen in your system. You don't
no.
want bottomed out testosterone. You want a certain amount of balance on everything. And I think for me, that was like a guiding factor to continue my liver cleansing journey because my mom had fibroids the size of grapefruits removed and had a hysterectomy. And I knew that that was sort of my genes, and I didn't want that anymore. And I was like, okay, I've been on all this toxic stuff. Let's get this out. Let's get this balanced so that this doesn't happen to me, so that I can be sort of that cycle breaker for my family as well. So that I can be like, hey, this happened to my whole mom's lineage and it's not going to happen to me anymore.